Hi YouTube, it's Annalisa G, and I wanted to start a new series on my blog called This Would Only Happen to Me. I guess it's a compilation of the experiences I have while traveling and the crazy stuff I just run into. So I wanted to start with a story that just happened to me a couple weeks ago here in Cancun. I met a girl from England who told me about these lakes in Mexico that are the color of pink. They're pink lakes and they looked beautiful in photos, and I was like, I have to go. So we come to Cancun. I rent a car from the hotel at the Rent-A-Car Thrifty, and along with that they had roadside assistance, which I double checked the number before we left. So anyways, the Pink Lakes are 3 hours from here. They were telling us that the tollways were going to be pretty expensive, and so we decided to try to take the back roads in through the towns to the location. That was a bad decision, I would have to say, just because they have these speed bumps that are crazy. They're like the biggest humps, and they're not smooth, so you don't roll over them. It's kind of like crashing the car. I thought I was gonna wreck the rental car on the way there. On top of that, there was some military stops and cops in the street that were really sketchy for Mexico, because you just don't know what's going on in other countries when you're there. You know, you hear so many things about different things and rumors of things here in Mexico, and you just don't know. So anyways, we get there. It is beautiful. When we head back, the night's fallen and it is dark, and I tell my friend, look, I am too scared to go this backwards route. I would rather pay for the tollways and be safe and get directly home. Okay, fine. Before we left, we put some gas, and we put 200 pesos, and the gas mark was 5 lines in. When we got there, it took 2 lines. And so when we were leaving, we had 3 lines left on the gas tank, and so we decided, no problem, this is gonna get us home, no afterthought. We're driving. I'm the only one that can drive. She doesn't drive, so I'm trying to be ultra focused. I drank a Starbucks coffee, and I really just wanted to get home. And so I was just driving and focused on driving, that I didn't even notice that the tank got low. And by the time I knew it, the dashboard was blinking, low fuel, low fuel, low fuel. And I'm like, oh shit, like we have no gas. And I don't know where we are, and I haven't seen a gas station. So we start seeing signs, but they're not very clear. So I get on my phone, and the closest gas station is 60 kilometers from where we're at. So I'm like, oh, ooh, this isn't good, but we'll make it, because I push my car all the time, and I think 60 kilometers is like 30 miles. We'll be fine. So I'm gunning it. I'm going 120 kilometers an hour, and we are about to get to the exit to get off to the gas station, which is another 20 minutes anyways, and the car stops working. Ugh. So I pull over to the side, and I'm like, okay, we're okay. We have roadside assistance, no problem. So I get on the phone, call roadside assistance. A guy answers, says, I'll call you back in 5 minutes. Okay, no problem. Ha, crazy story. This is gonna be just a crazy story. We ran out of gas in Mexico. So about 20 to 30 minutes go by, and I don't receive a call back. And I'm thinking, I'm just gonna give him a little bit of time. Maybe he's making the arrangements. So I call the number, and it hangs up. It doesn't ring at all. The phone number is not working. So I keep calling it, and it keeps doing the same thing. There's no phone working. So I'm like, oh my gosh, it's now been an hour that we're out here, and I haven't received any information back from roadside assistance. And so I start to look up numbers for Thrifty and different things, and nothing's working and nobody's answering. So I call the hotel, and the hotel tells me it's 11:30 at night. Nobody's gonna help you at this point. And I'm like, excuse me, I'm staying at this hotel. You would think you would help something. I mean, send me a taxi to do something. I need help. And I rented the car at your hotel. It's crazy. So I hang up with this guy and I'm pissed off. So I decide to call my mom. My mom's living in Mexico City. She has a Mexican phone, I'm sure, and she can, maybe I'm dialing it wrong, she can help me. So I call my mom, give her the number. I'm embarrassed to tell her that I'm stranded on the side of the road in the middle of nowhere with no lights, no towns, no anything. And so she starts trying to call. None of the phone numbers are working. Nobody's answering, and she says it's not working. So I start to panic a little bit. We're about an hour and a half, 2 hours in, and we're in the middle of nowhere. There's literally no moon that night. It is pitch black. We can't turn the car on because it's completely dead, and it's getting really cold. It's about 63 degrees outside. And so I start to panic. I Googled the nearest police station to call the police, and I find a police station 12 kilometers away. The woman answers, and she pretty much tells us that she won't help and that she can't do anything, that I need to call a taxi. And I'm trying to explain to her that there's small towns around here with no phone numbers, and I don't know how to get a hold of a taxi. And to get somebody to come out from Cancun is becoming really difficult. So she tells us she's not gonna help us. I keep calling the number. Eventually a woman answers. She says she just came into work and that the guy that answered my phone call said that we were out of the radius for them to help us and that they weren't gonna help us. And I'm screaming at her. I'm like, this is unacceptable. We're two young women stranded in the middle of Mexico. We don't know where we are. We're scared. It's cold. And someone needs to come get us. This is crazy. So she says, hold on, talks to her manager, whatever. Ends up calling a buddy of hers and says, look, I'll send my buddy out. Just pay him for the gas, and it'll be about an hour because we're coming from the airport. Fine, just send anyone at this point because we got 11, 12, it's about 1 o'clock, and I'm like, we'll get home by 3 a.m. and it's not a big deal. Let's just consider it like a night out that we never had, but we'd stay out this late anyways. So about 45 minutes pass, and I give the guy a call, the phone number she provided for me, and the guy says, yeah, I know where you are. I'm on mile so-and-so. I'll be there in about 20 minutes. Okay. Well, 20 minutes go by and he's never gotten there. And I keep calling and he's not answering, and then eventually he answers and says he's in some town, and I'm like, I'm not on this town. So these highways, there's one called 180 and there's one called 180D on my Google Maps, and one's a tollway and one goes through the towns. So I'm trying to explain to them that we're on the tollway. But I guess at this point, it's not called 180D, and we think it's that simple. We're like, it's on Google Maps. I can send you the picture of exactly where I am. It shouldn't be that hard to find us. So I'm calling the people at the roadside assistance. I'm calling this guy. You would never believe. It is now 5 a.m. and this man has not found us. And every 20 minutes, he says he's around the corner. And I'm just like, what is going on? Like, I understand we're in Mexico, but this is just ridiculous. This is roadside assistance. You'd think they have one job, is to help someone off the side of the road. So I'm going crazy at this point. So my girlfriend is falling asleep, she's passed out, and I'm not able to sleep because I'm constantly calling and they keep saying they're 20 minutes away. So finally I decide to just rest my eyes for a little bit. I fall asleep for about 15, 20 minutes, and then I just wake up and I have a breakdown. And I am like, I have a king-size bed in my hotel in Cancun, and I am sleeping in this car. I am raging pissed. I'm calling them, and they're just like, he's never gonna find you, we can't find you, and I just could not even believe the situation. So then I start calling the police again. The police are giving me the ring around. They're kind of saying that there's a highway patrol that's in charge and they need to call the highway patrol. And at this point, I have drained my battery for my phone. It's at 15%, so I'm freaking out because not only are we still stranded and it's 5 in the morning, I have no battery. So I'm not gonna be able to communicate with anyone. The car's dead, so I can't charge it. Her phone doesn't even work out here. So I'm like, we're in a bad situation at this point. We're on a tollway and there's only 18-wheelers flying by and they're the big ones double stacked. There's no way we can get someone to stop. Nobody's stopped, nobody's anything. This is like a tollway. So I call the police and they're just giving me the ring around. Oh, we'll send someone out, we'll send someone out. So I'll tell you, by 8 a.m., I'm like, come on. So basically they were giving us the ring around till 8 a.m. till people actually came into work because I guess they didn't have much staff. And the guy's like, okay, there's someone around the corner, he'll be there in 10 minutes. Sure enough, 15 minutes, 20 minutes go by, nobody has come for us. I keep calling and I'm hysterical at this point because it is morning and nobody's coming to get us and everyone keeps saying they're coming and nobody's coming. So I'm crying and I could hear the police calling me a loca, like a crazy woman. And I'm like, I have no water. I've been in this car for 10 hours. You know, there's no food. We're freezing. It's 60 degrees out. We have no heat and we're in bikinis. Like, it's not like we have blankets and we're warm and have a jacket. We're freezing. And I'm just losing it at this point. And so anyways, by 9:30, 10 o'clock, someone finally gets there, gives us gas. Luckily, this was the highway patrol because they had sparks because the car had also died, so we needed gas and sparks. Before that, some guy pulled over and tried to rip us off and said he would go get the gas and that the police would never come and get us. And I'm crying and he's trying to take advantage of us. But now I look back and it would have been a bad decision to pay him because he would have brought us gas, but my car would have been out of battery. So I'm glad we were patient enough to wait. But by the time we get on the road, I am just emotionally drained. I am just dumbfounded by the situation. And the whole situation took 12 hours to resolve. We did not get back to the hotel for 12 hours after we were stranded on the side of the road. So yeah, crazy story. This would only happen to me, I swear. It was a freaking nightmare. And on top of that, we missed the stupid, what is it called? Shareholder, what is it? Where they make you sit through a presentation and they give you free gifts. So our free gift was the voucher to pay for the car. So now they don't want to honor the voucher because we missed the thing because we were stranded on the side of the road. So it's just a big nightmare. I'm an emotional mess. And I basically had one day in Cancun to relax on the beach and plan for my trip to Cuba. And I spent the entire day sleeping and just exhausted. So yeah, this is part of my series. Please comment, like, follow me, and I look forward to giving you more stories that are crazy because I seem to find them all. See you soon.